今日 Automomo 咧就嚟咗呢個保時捷嘅總部喺香港嘅，咁我哋就同Mr. Grant Smith 咧傾下偈。
The difference between driving and between Hong Kong and New Zealand. So,
to be honest with you, my experience has been quite similar. Obviously, the cars are on the same side as the road in Hong Kong as New Zealand. The steering wheel's on the same side, and the traffic probably about the same as it is like in Auckland. Because Hong Kong, you have a wonderful public transport system. In Auckland, we have a terrible one. So. The jams are about the same. My only difficulty or my learning experience has been when we come into the tunnels. So when I've got 10 lanes of traffic, trying to get into 2, and just everyone's jockeying for position. Like we were coming over this morning, I think, wow, it's crazy, and it works and everything. But it's like for me, you got to kind of work out how brave do you want to be. Sort of thing. So I'm learning these things. But actually the driving's been great. It's been really nice. Yeah.
So, what will you bring your family from New Zealand to Hong Kong? What will you bring also with your furniture, your car, or anything?
Okay, so basically what happened was when we came over for 2 weeks, and my wife came originally because we wanted to work out where we should live. So we spent 2 weeks looking around for apartments. We found an apartment. And then once we knew what apartment we had, we could decide what to bring. Because in New Zealand we have much bigger houses, so we have like 300 square metre houses. Wow. It's quite normal. So if I bought all of my furniture from 300 square metres and I bring it to Hong Kong, then maybe we have a problem. So we found out what we wanted first, and now we know what to ship.
How do you feel the difference between the customers from Hong Kong to New Zealand?
There's some similarities and actually there's some differences. So similarities wise, Porsche customers in New Zealand and Hong Kong are very passionate, very enthusiastic, very well informed. They love the brand and they're great. So when they come to the showroom, they're very well informed. So our salespeople and our service people must be well trained and be able to deal with this, because the people that come in are very informed, very intelligent, and passionate about the brand. The other difference I've noticed in Hong Kong is that the customers here are still happy to come to the showroom. So we still get lots of people that come to the showroom. They're happy to order cars and wait for some period of time. And we've got examples, that people are waiting for 1 year, sometimes 1.5 years for special cars. Where in New Zealand that doesn't happen anymore. So quite often now it's like saying that they're difficult to bring to the showroom, so we kind of tend to have to take the showroom to the people, and they won't wait. Like if you can't deliver the car in 2 or 3 months, they go and buy something else.
Which model, Porsche model, you like the most?
What do I like the most? See, the difficulty is I love all of them, but actually my 2 favourites really, to be honest. I love 911, and actually I love Cayenne. So Cayenne GTS is it's sort of like, if you think about it, when you have a sports car brand, they have incredible driving performance, but sometimes they're not the most practical car in the world. So if you've got a family, so for me with the 2 dogs and sometimes with luggage, 911's not the most practical car. So if it's just me, 911, but with the family, and we need luggage and dogs, then probably Cayenne GTS, which I think is an incredible car, beautiful, amazing handling, great performance. Really lives the true Porsche sports car values, but in a more practical car. So it's great.
So around a month more living in Hong Kong, do you enjoy the food in Hong Kong, or which part of the Hong Kong you enjoy most?
I love every part of the culture. I mean, for me, it's a little bit like when you live in New Zealand, we have lots of Chinese food. So in fact, New Zealand's a very multicultural society. So lots of people from China have come to New Zealand, and in fact, they've brought with them their food. So things like bok choy. New Zealand, we never had bok choy 10 years ago, but now with lots of people coming and immigrating to New Zealand, they bring with them also their food. So New Zealand's got this really interesting, if you like, mixture. So we've got European influences, New Zealand influences, Asian influences, and also Pacific Island influences from Fiji, Samoa, Tonga. If you put all that together, it's kind of like a fusion, super fresh ingredients and things. But my learning is that the Chinese food that I have in Hong Kong is probably Western Chinese, not really Chinese. So in fact, when I've come to Hong Kong, all of the things that I've had traditionally in New Zealand, I haven't found here yet, sort of thing, you know. So I'm sort of, there's a whole different lot of Chinese food. At the moment, I'm living in Chung Kwan O, so they've got like a food court thing there, you know, where lots of the local people go. So I kind of wander down there, and they're very kind, because they've made up those sort of plastic examples of what it's going to look like when it gets served, and so I can always point to that one, and and it's great, because for me it's about trying to be part of society, trying to be part of the culture, sitting with the local people and trying to do chopsticks as best I can in things, and most things I'm okay. Rice I'm still struggling with, so I hope some people have to teach me some more skills.
Okay, what's your favorite restaurant here?
My favorite restaurant? Oh look, I really haven't had the opportunity to be in so many restaurants. We went to a very nice restaurant last night. I'm not sure what it was, but I've really been literally just wandering around food courts and side streets, and just again trying to, you know, those things, like even like in Wan Chai, so even when I go, I use the MTR a lot here still. I'm still doing the MTR, so when I'm walking to the station, I'll go to the local food, because again I can just point for what I want, and you just got to try things, you know, like to learn to be part of a society and a culture, you got to try all the different things, you know. Like I think last night at dinner we tried the chicken feet, goose feet thing, whatever, you know. So that's something that I probably haven't experienced before, and maybe not going to experience again. But you know, but you've got to try. You know, it's an important part of being part of, you know, your culture and experiencing all the great things about Hong Kong. So.
Oh, okay.
So that's the way you try to get used to the Hong Kong style living.
Correct.
But how's your another family member, the two dogs? How do you feel? Because New Zealand, you get lots of place for the dogs to run in, to play. If they move to Hong Kong, what do you think? How they are going
I actually think it's going to be very challenging, because you're right. You know, like I mean, we have two West Highland White Terriers, and so Lily and Dougal, so they'll be coming to Hong Kong. So we've made all these jokes. We said, you know, okay, you guys are going to become Hong Kong dogs, and you're going to be spending your first Christmas in Hong Kong. And of course, in New Zealand, we have lots of space, and I live at the beach. So every day we spend 1 hour, we walk down the beach, and they're running on the beach and chasing the birds and stuff. So when they come to Hong Kong, it's quite different. One of the things we had to consider was where we're going to live, and that's why, so where we're living, there's a number of roads that are quite flat, so we can sort of take them out and walk on the roads and things, but it'll certainly be challenging for us, you know. So suddenly I'm living on the 39th floor, and to get them down and out and without any accidents is going to be challenging.
Okay, let's go back to the driving, going back to New Zealand.
Yeah.
So there are quite a lot of like traffic accidents caused by the tourists driving in New Zealand. So can you just like tell us, like, you know, what happened and what do you think?
Yeah, sure. We had, I mean, obviously we like Hong Kong, so we drive on the left side of the road. And there's lots of people, I think, who come to New Zealand from Europe, from mainland China, who drive on the other side of the road. And I think sometimes even though you're driving on the other side of the road and the other side of the car, sometimes you forget. So we've had some instances, particularly in the South Island, so the roads are very empty, so you're sort of driving along and sometimes you forget, you know. So I think people were forgetting, and so we've got instances where people were going around corners on the wrong side of the road, and then we have head-on crashes, and these crashes then are very serious, you know, people die, and so there's a lot of bad publicity, and so then we've also had, you know, the local people watching some bad behaviour where they've pulled people over and taken the keys, and the police, and so media have made quite a big deal of it. So it's a bit of a problem, but I think it's something that's probably, you know, and it's almost like, you know, you need to remind people, and I think on the rental cars they now, you know, keep left, keep that little arrow saying stay on this side of the road, you know, because, you know.
Okay, I think that's all for today. We want to know something from New Zealand and your dogs. It's very interesting.
It's wonderful to be here, and thank you for inviting me to be part of your show.
You're welcome. That's a pleasure.